The effect of activated charcoal in dirty water. Question: how long will it take for dirty water to be cleaned from activated charcoal inside of dirty water? Literature Literature review number 1. What source did you use? I used a .org, which collected scientific journals and posts online, and that's um, the works cited information. Why did you use the source? It is a scientific journal. How does a source relate to your science fair project? It includes that activated charcoal will remove bacteria from your body, or in this case, the liquid. What experimental data did you find in this source that might relate to your, that is related to your project? Sources should have experimental data. They used activated charcoal to help fight against an infection on 28 people. Literature review number 2. What type of source did you use? So basically, I forgot to write it, but it's works cited information, but it's from .edu, so that means it's from education site. And basically, in it just shows you how to make a charcoal water filter. Why did you use this source? I think that it gave a good explanation on how to make a charcoal water filter. How does the source relate to your science fair project? It teaches you how to filter water using activated charcoal, carbon. What experimental data did you find in the source that is related to your project? Sources should have experimental data. Activated carbon removes organs that can affect taste, odor, and color. That's quoted from the site. Yeah. Literature review number 3. What type of source did you use? Includes works cited information. This site is a .com, but it's used for the International Soil and Water Conservation Research on April 3rd, 2020. I use this source because it shows that activated charcoal can remove a very dangerous chemical that can severely affect fetuses inside of a pregnant woman if they accidentally inhale or swallow um, atrazine. How does this source relate to your science fair project? The source relates because it proves my point that activated charcoal can remove bacteria, atrazine, and other dangerous chemicals. What experimental data did you find in the source that is related to your project? Sources should have experimental data. It's quoted investigation of activated charcoal gloss (ACC) to remove atrazine from water. Literature review number 4. What type of source did you use? Includes works cited information. This is also another .com, but it's the Guild Encyclopedia of Medicine. Author was not listed, so I can do anything for it. Why did you use this source? It's an encyclopedia that explains activated charcoal greatly. How does the source relate to your science fair project? It lists what activated is and what it is used for. What experimental data did you find that in this source that is related to your project? Activated charcoal has been used since ancient times to cure a variety of ailments, including poisoning. Its healing effects have been well documented since as early as 1550 BC by the Egyptians. My hypothesis is that if I add more charcoal, the water will become clear faster than the others, because if you put more in the jar, it will take less time. Constants: amount of water, water source, temperature of water, type of charcoal, color of water, and brand of food coloring. The independent variable is amount of charcoal. The dependent variable is average time the water turns clear. So, like the average time the water turns, clear, what it states. Materials and procedures. Materials: food coloring, activated charcoal, 3 small jars, water, camera/phone, measuring cups and measuring spoons. Procedures: Stage 1. Put 2 cups of water in every jar and put 18 drops of red/green food coloring. Then put 1 teaspoon in one jar, 2 teaspoons into another, and 3 on the last jar. Take pictures how the water was when you first put the charcoal in it. Day 2. Take the pictures of the jar after 24 hours putting the charcoal in the jar. Day 3. By this time, the jar with 3 teaspoons should have become clear. Take pictures again and wait for about 3 to 4 days, and by then, all the jars will become slightly clear. Day 4 to 7. Record your results in this time period. In this slide, my graphs and data charts are on here, and also the results are here. The data shown here says that on day 3, most of the water turned somewhat clear. The 1 teaspoon jar was the slowest to turn clear, and 3 teaspoon jar was the fastest of them all, making my hypothesis that if I add more charcoal, the water will become clear faster. Correct. The average time it would take for activated charcoal to remove molecules from the water. To find out how, I got 3 different jars and put 1 teaspoon in one jar, 2 teaspoons in another jar, 3 teaspoons in another jar. The average time will be recorded as soon as the jar turns slightly clear. The hypothesis was correct because the more charcoal I would add, the quicker the water turns clear. This is because the 1 teaspoon jar took about 5 days to finally be clear, and the 2 teaspoon and the 3 teaspoons turned clear on the 3rd day. I learned that activated charcoal can remove molecules from water, and that activated charcoal could kill dirt inside of water. I still want to learn how that happens. How does it suddenly become clear? I also want to learn how activated charcoal removes dangerous chemicals such as in water, such as atrazine. And below are 3 pictures of the days. So the first day, I wrote day 1. I forgot to write the rest. The first day, you can see it's fully black, and the second day, it's like black and a shade of green, because the dye I put on it was green. And on the last one, you can see it's pretty clear. And this is really the end of the experiment. Thank you.